I'll be on Wrecker's Yard, as you can see at the top. No one co-casting right now with me. We'll probably try to get someone in later. So we have a lot of subs because this bracket is messed up with forfeits and stuff like that. So we have Costco killing first with Rixa, Reborn, Drekinator, and Tavion being the survivors. We're all ready. They're just waiting on me to say go, so I'm going to say go now, and we'll all be in and happy about it. He played Freddy. He's playing Freddy again? Or am I...
No, he's playing Freddy, alright.
Didn't he play Freddy?
As you have mentioned, yes, but
I know
as far as I'm concerned, he is subbing, and as a sub, it is allowed to play killers you have already played.
He's not subbing.
He's not?
No, this is his official game. He played a Freddy while subbing earlier, and I don't know if he, after that, when he played his official game, if he played Freddy. I'm not quite sure.
Beats me.
Yeah. He finds out Reborn right there, so puts her to sleep and gets the hit off right there. As Tavion and Drekinator also get put to sleep with Costco on Reborn's tail. He goes down the pallet to try to stun him.
It's a strong start for Freddy, however, he will suffer from the missing Dream Chaser points as he is only able to hit one person.
Yeah, and that's basically where all of his deviousness comes from, is putting people to sleep and then hitting them after. Yeah, it seems like Tavion got out of sleep dream state while Reborn is chasing, got a nice pallet stun on Costco right there. She's just pretty much running him around at this point. Drekinator, I saw him on a gen, or no, that was Tavion, and it was showing that he was still in dream state when he wasn't. Reborn got cut off by Costco because they kind of did a huge loop around and just found each other and had a little romantic touch right there.
Hi, how are you doing?
Drekinator blows it down. He gets out of dream state, so now no one is asleep. But Tavion's around for the save, and so is Rixa. Drekinator moving up from cross map.
Here's the challenge, Joe. Since you have no communication in this game in particular at all, Freddy is quite something to deal with.
Yeah, that's so true, because normally in, I'd say, public games, Freddy is a very late game killer. That's a lot of his perks are based around late game. Fire up is, it's stacked with generators being done, and the rest are exit gates perks. So in a pug setting like this where he's running no perks and stuff, with no communication and no one else is running perks, he can be very effective early game, but it's not looking like he's being able to find anyone or get the ball rolling. He spots out 3 survivors again on the generator that he almost initially found them on. He looked like he was going for Tavi, but it looks like he changed his mind to go to Rixa. While I think someone else is still working on that gen. Yeah, it was Reborn. She just went back to it while Rixa is getting chased here. So Rixa getting hit once there. It's not looking like they got really good pallet spawns, because only Reborn right there only used 2, and a lot of these junk gems that Rixa looks like he's running around don't have any. But it's Wrecker's Yard, so there could be millions, and we just don't know.
Exactly, along with the fact that windows are essentially more effective against Freddy than pallets are.
Yes, yeah, because half the time you can't see him, and if you're getting put to sleep, you debate with yourself whether to throw it or not, but a window's always the better choice in that situation. And Drekinator going down here because he kind of ran against the wall, he got clipped on it when he tried to go around it. Tried to 360 there, but just failed. So he'll be going on hook. This was Costco's second hook, so he's still very Like, he's only gotten a hit and down on Reborn and Draconator. On Rixa too, he got a hit.
Yeah, so far the game is moving into the survivor's favor. However, things can still turn around.
Yeah, I mean that late gameness, because you know, once you really don't have an effective way to wake up once the gens are done and people are still in the map to get points, like he becomes stronger that way because you can't ever really wake up unless you find out.
A medkit, a teammate, or just risk and blow up a generator.
Yeah, or you know, be put on hook for. We have Tavion. Well, first we have Reborn again with another toolbox saddling for that boldness, but Tavion getting chased around the shack, getting hit once. He threw down a pallet earlier, I think out of fear, because the pallet was miles away from where Costco was. But he makes his way to a 99 gen. Looks like Costco actually lost him and is on Rixa and Dragonator. Tries the early swing on Rixa there, but he already vaulted the window like miles before. Finds Reborn again too, so now everyone will be put into the dream state if he connected, which he didn't. He didn't get the connect on her. And he doesn't see her at the corner there. He walks right by, as we saw on the grass. And sees Tavion and Rixa trying to heal, and Cusker just moves away from Rixa to hit Tavion again, but Rixa body blocked Weld and took a hit for him. Are you sick too?
I'm fighting it off.
Yep, I just got sick today.
Well, days as they are right now are getting crazy. I'm already having a snow blanket outside. It's great.
And Tavion goes down as Rixa was attempting to wake him up there. And Dragonator is right behind that hook, and Cusco's spots him because he was originally going for Rixa, but just doubled back to get Tavion. And it looked like for a second Dragonator was going to get that. He was going to be able to sabo that hook, but he obviously didn't have enough time.
Along with the 25% penalty on being in Dream World, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. No, yeah, that hurts, especially when just trying to do anything, and like it's imperative like you get heals off or wake people up.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still attempting to do it even though he is in the dream world. I wonder if he, because like I know it doesn't wake you up when you fail the skill check right away. Yeah, as you saw there, it doesn't. It takes a couple of tries, I think, or not at all.
On Sabotage, a failed skill check does not wake you up.
Really? Okay. So Costco here he has full deviousness while he's still lacking in vitality. And Sacrifice isn't looking. He's only has 3 hooks so far, so he needs to get everyone in struggle and then just really apply the pressure on, because a lot of these gens are 99 and have just been worked on, so that all you need right now is altruism and boldness.
Exactly what Mike should do is try to resort getting one survivor down and try keeping on hook for 2 stages.
Yeah, he's certainly like picked up the pace in finding people and putting them up. Like all of them are in dream state right now, so the only way they can wake up is on a gen right now. But they're having a tough time finding each other and finding gens that aren't 99 like Rixa just found there. But Dragonator managed to get himself out, and Costco found him right away again and is now chasing him. And Dragonator gets a good killer stun while waiting at that pallet on him. So he like knows where everyone is on the map currently, so he's doing good by injuring them for first of all, and just keeping these gens in check so there's no way that they can snap out of it and wake up. Just like Dragonair tried to do here, he just gets found out by Costco and he'll go down. And he'll be put on it for a second time.
Yeah, along with keeping the generators occupied, he also gets rid of a lot of the pallets in the map, which will help him in the later game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tavion and Rixa managed to get on the generator and snap themselves out, and now Rixa will snap Reborn out. So everyone is healed up and awake while Dragonair is on his struggle hook. So he, after this, obviously death hook, Reborn will be on struggle, and Tavion will be on struggle, I believe. I don't know if Tavion got healed or got hooked once or twice.
I cannot recall that as well. However, with Dragonair on death hook right now, things could possibly speed up from here on out. Yeah,
now the survivors will probably pop another gen here in a second, and they kind of put him into a good 3-gen spot because he has a linear line of gens where he just has to patrol, and he manages to put 3 people back to sleep and is on Dragonator again, which if he goes down and Costco hooks him, he's dead. But I mean, he's a sub, so it doesn't matter, which he will do. Which I don't agree with this choice, because then that makes everyone want to get out. Like that makes it so there's no reason for him to say if he's just willing to kill people. And yeah, that's Dragonator out. So as he puts Rixa to sleep and Reborn in the immediate area with Tavion also there. But the gens have been also kicked, so like the 2 gens that have been kicked are not been worked on at all. Rixa getting a really lucky skill check there too, because Costco was hunting him down. Tavion and Reborn working on a gen where Dragonator died, and Rixa gets into the dream state, but Costco is not giving chase. He's going back to the gen to find Reborn and Tavion there. And Tavion's just sticking the gen to maybe get a skill check, but he finally peels off, and he gets hit. He has max deviousness now. Still does not have full chase, but has full brutality.
I think what Costco is trying to do right now is get every survivor back into dream state, injure them, and from there on down another person and try to get rid of that one, so that he can eliminate the survivors one by one.
Yes, that would be like the most I'd say the best strat he could do, because it slows the game when people are injured and in the dream state, because you have to wake people up, and he knows where you are, so you have to wake him up fast, and then you have to heal that person outside. But if he's already chasing you, like, he'll just put you to sleep again. And Reborn goes on hook for her struggle, while Rixa is there to unhook and heal her, but Costco is he's on his way back to Tavion's gen that he's been working on. And Tavion gets the failed skill check off, and the Costco's there to just put him right back to sleep and kick the gen. Tavion goes down by Costco, and he will be put on for his struggle here. The only person who has, I don't even think Rixa has been on a hook, to be honest with you.
Again, I haven't paid attention to who was hooked.
I know Reborn is on death hook. This will be Tavion's struggle. I just have not the foggiest about Rixa. But Reborn crouching like urban evasion up to Tavion, and Rixa just working on a gen across the map as he gets put to sleep by Costco. And Costco's actually doing the very smart thing and just kicking the gens in and not immediately going for the chase, because you already know where they are. Like, even if they like run away from you out of his heartbeat radius, like out of his hair radius, he can just see you again.
Exactly, and with majority of the pellets gone, he really doesn't have to worry much about a long chase that would defy him of his free gen.
Yeah, he basically has an open map right now and very close gens. So, do I see the survivors getting out here? I don't think so. I think one of them could get out if they find Hatch, but like almost certainly 3 of them will die here. As he just then finds both Reborn and Tavion and gets the hit on Tavion. Which if he kills Tavion here, there'll be even more pressure for Rixa and Reborn. But Reborn gets herself out of the dream state. But Costco finds her again and just puts her immediately back to sleep.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, like throughout this entire game, whenever like they wake up, Costco's always right there to put them back. So like they never have a chance to fully keep working on gens or anything else. And finding Rixa here and downing him to put him on hook. Yeah, he maxed out Brutality and he's full Hunter now, so he just needs to get the rest of the sacrifice. And he's on pace to do so. He just needs to play very smart with especially Rixa, because if he downs everyone and puts them on hook, Rixa still struggles, so he will be at like 31,400, not perfect 32. Finding Reborn walking away from a gen that she just worked on as she runs to Rixa, and Tavion just working on a gen behind Rixa. Rixa might have time to snap Reborn out, and he does, so, and Reborn will just heal there as Tavion gets found on that gen and he goes down. He slugs Tavion in the corner and then goes immediately back to where Reborn and Rixa were. Will he see them? He finds Rixa again and Reborn. But they're both working on the gen in hopes to get that failed skill check. And Rixa, out of fear, throws down a pallet. One of the few remaining in this map.
Yes, say that pallet become a rarity.
I know, as I say that, but like it's Wrecker's Yard, like Pallet Town. I mean, not as bad as Blood Lodge, but so Costco heading back to Tavion to, I think, kill him here is his goal. Yeah, he picks him up. He does still need to be careful about not hooking Rixa again, because Rixa will just be on struggle of his death hook if he goes for the kill. And they body block successfully and has no hook to go to, so he just drops Tavion, hits Reborn, and finds Rixa again. Gets the head over the window as Reborn heals up Tavion fully, and Tavion snaps Reborn out. And Rixa goes down, so he'll be put on this struggle. So if he gets the last 2 survivors, he will have a 32. He'll have a spicy 32.
He will be satisfied with that.
Yeah. Obvious. So just to correct something earlier, like this is a sub game for Costco, so he can play Freddy because yeah. So my bad. So he finds Tavion, and he went to go kick the gen in, but Tavion was still working on it. And Tavion goes to that corner and just teabags Costco because he knows the hook is so far in between that he might be able to just keep wiggling out. And see where Costco has to go to hook. If they body blocked here for him, he definitely is out, but he's dead here because he just doesn't have a body block. He was about 95% there. So the only downside right now to Costco is that, I like how we see his body float up to the heavens. The only downside is that none of them are in the dream state, so he can't locate him, but just has to keep patrolling gens, which is not an issue. And because someone just blew a gen, I think it was Rixa. But both Reborn and Rixa are about 80% on their gens. So while someone gets found, another one will just pop the gen and then go back on that gen. So Reborn will pop hers in a second here. And Rixa got off his gen and hid while Costco is going back to Reborn's gen. And hasn't found her. No, now has found her, so she will be chased while Rixa is just completing the last gen. While she's sleeping, if he downs her, he'll be able to still see where she is. He just needs to find Rixa and put him to sleep. As he completes the gen and the power gates are now powered. Power gates are now powered. Exit gates are now powered. He still actually hasn't maxed his chase either, which is surprising. And Costco picks up Reborn even though Rixa is opening the exit gate. This is a big misplay by Costco.
And let's see what he will make out of it.
No, he won't be able to pull Rixa off. Even if he puts him to sleep right now, Rixa will still be able to open the gate and get out. Rixa just waits at exit gate and goes through as soon as Costco is right there. In my opinion, that was a really big misplay by him by picking up Reborn there for the kill.
Indeed. He could have gotten all 4 survivors if he were to slug Reborn.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If he had slugged Reborn and made it, because the gen popped right by an exit gate, so if he had just moved over there but yeah. Anyway, so Rixa, top survivor there because he escaped with 24,948. Reborn second with 19,912. Tavion with 17,208. Drekinator last with 8,017. And Costco with a 30,610. So the loss, sacrifice, and the not being able to fill Hunter points. Oh, it's Trapper. He's playing Trapper. So that's interesting. He's just gonna, first turn to his left, trap this pallet. It's a strong pallet right here. Yeah, I mean, for Trapper, it's not a bad pick. You have jungle gyms with pallets in them, so just like with the one-way pallets and by the treads, thick grass, the shack. So he's actually, and I would say he's in a pretty good sitting to really hurt the survivors with his trap placements, and he's already has 3 down, and he's going for the wall traps, unlike just window traps or pallet traps. He put one on one pallet, and then the last 2 he's placed around are just tight corners that survivors would run to if they're mid-chase or something. And he spots out two of the survivors here. I thought I heard 3, but one is Drekinator and the other is Tavion, I'm pretty sure, or Rixa. Yeah, it's Rixa. Rixa changed from David to Meg, so give me a minute to adjust. Reborn switching a chest by the trash compactor, and Drekinator tried to locker juke Junrei, it seems, and Junrei just ripped him out of the locker mid-pull, and Junrei is just seemingly wanting him to wiggle up, but then takes him to a hook and throws him on there. Like a real Trapper. See scratch marks as that gen, I think by the bus got finished. Yeah, that gen got finished. He sees someone right by him. I saw it from his perspective, but I don't think he saw. I don't know who that was. I think it was Tavion. Yeah, it was Tavion. And placed a trap right between that two pallets that Travion sees, and he'll just disarm it real quick with Rixa in tow as Reborn got this save on Draconator. So, Junrei being EU, Germany specifically, there's going to be lag here since these survivors are all NA. So they probably have, I wouldn't say it's like a big delay, but probably half a second to a second, like around 250 ping. Because Junrei's connection is, you know, he's far, but it's always been stable. And he has traps placed around it, no one's stepping in them of recent. And they're not bad trap placements, no one in like mid-chase has really run into them or anything like that, but he just continues to reset them as teams with 3 survivors work on gens, 99 them, Reborn, Tavion, and Draconator. And poor Rixa just working alone on his. Being said though, Junrei sees someone by the garbage. It's actually Rixa, so he will give chase to him, and Junrei thought Rixa would go back, so he cuts him off, but Rixa just kept running. Picking up the trap just for later since he didn't have one in his hand. He backs up to get the swing on Rixa, and it's successful. Rixa didn't see that coming. Looked like he was looking behind him as Junrei moonwalked to the pallet. It was a very good play by him, and he puts the trap. Rixa notices the trap last second and goes to the pallet and forces the pallet to be dropped. So now Rixa knows of that trap, but he's running into a minefield of 2 to 3 traps over here, so he has to be careful as well. He's constantly looking the ground on, and right in front of his eyes, Tavion gets trapped as the chase brought over to him. So Junrei just picks up Tavion and will put him on hook. That was kind of a break for Rixa there, because he was going to go down in a couple of seconds, but then Tavion just got caught in the trap. And Rixa, making note of that trap earlier, goes and disarms it. Reborn in heartbeat radius of Junrei, and he looked in that direction. I'm not sure he saw her, but very, very close call. As you can see his trap floating away like some Luigi Mansion ghost. Reborn goes for the save on Tavion, as a lot of them have medkits too. Reborn has a brown one, and Draconator has one, and Tavion goes down again. And Draconator hopping into a locker to get Junrei's attention and brings him to the shack, with Draconator trying to 360 Junrei, and Junrei just stands there and watches and forces the pallet drop. And Draconator not taking a hit, instead he just drops the god tier pallet. But meantime, while that happened, Tavion got all healed up, and Rixa almost, but he is now getting focused by Junrei and will go down here. While it's going on, Reborn and Tavion just working on the generator, pretty close to the action of that. Draconator working on the one by the trap in the middle, kind of by the shack. Sees Junrei head to the right over there, with Tavion really close to Junrei and the hook, with Junrei checking lockers because he believes someone's around here. Junrei is checking everywhere but where Tavion is. That was so close, and Tavion just running in for the save, but lets Reborn get it because he's just being a sub. So this game only matters for, pretty sure, just Reborn only. And Reborn getting the killer stump on Junrei and points at him after, but immediately right after steps into his trap and just giving Reborn the head. Junrei giving Reborn the head shake. Kind of poetic justice there. So she gets put on hook while Rixa moves up to 99 this gen and get Junrei's attention. Probably will pop this gen, to be honest, and he does, just runs right away. That being him doing that though, Drekinator is pretty far from, and so is Tavi. So they're gonna have to coordinate here. Rixa getting hit, has nowhere to go, no pallets, only has that window, and kind of sort of tries to juke him out, and Junrei gets the end of this swing animation hit on him. Looked like he was going to go for Drekinator, but just decides to dip and pick up Rixa as Drekinator comes back to the gen, and will almost certain looked like he was going to pop it in his face, which as a killer would make me want you to die on that hook as soon as they put you on it. He gets the hit on him anyway because he was hiding behind the generator. So now he's being chased with Reborn still on the hook. But Tavion might run into that trap. He barely missed it. He ran to the right of it like he knew it was there, just didn't want to disarm it. But if he had gotten trapped there, Reborn would have gone second stage. That would have been so bad because everyone just being in chase and stuff like that. And Drekinator gets trapped by the truck, and Junrei just stopping to admire his trap placement with the survivors as Rixa's almost dead, and Tavion runs into that trap that he narrowly avoided before. He avoided it on the way to get Reborn, and then didn't on the way back to get Rixa, and Reborn frees him for 1,000 of altruism, and has to beeline it back to Rixa or he's dead. Which would be very unfortunate because it wouldn't be like a well-deserved death. So Rixa gets saved. I thought I was watching Rixa and it looked like he was gonna die because no one was around, but it was Drekinator. So Rixa got saved by Reborn. And is healing up. What? Oh, I'm so confused. Oh, the camera angle. Yeah, Reborn was healed up Rixa there as Junrei is right behind him, and Tavion gets this unhook on Drekinator. So Reborn gets hit again. They have gens 99, they're just not popping for, I assume why they're not popping is the consecutive hook rule. So like, you know, you can't tunnel a survivor unless they've done 3 gens. So mainly that reason is why. Kind of a rough spot for Rixa here because he noticed that trap at that pallet, so he couldn't use the pallet and had to run away, and he goes down here as he vaults the window. No pallet there, so they actually do end up popping a gen cross map from where this is happening with Reborn right by Junrei's side. Tavion and the other gen, he pops that one as well, so one generator's left, and Rixa's dead. So Junrei decided to kill off Rixa. And he still has a lot of traps down. Like, so far looking, he has 2 very, like, I'd say asymmetrical traps, but, you know, traps on the ground nonetheless. He's playing it very well. Like, he's not, you know, getting caught up, like, with chases so much. He manages his traps very well. That one trap is very ambitious, putting it in like the rubble right there of the shack to kind of mask it. Spots out, I'm pretty sure that it's Reborn, and he sees her, and the chase begins, and he doubles back on her, and she attempted the window jigging for a second. She had it, but gets hit anyways. Drekinator and Rixa, or Tavion, work on a generator pretty close to the action. Reborn out in the open here, so she's going down. Gives a nod to Junrei. acknowledging his greatness with the Trapper. She's on struggle, I believe. She's not dead, but definitely struggle as they pop the last Junrei. So one of them will be opening an exit gate while I assume the other one is going for the save, which is happening. Tavion going for the save and Ejecanator going for the exit gate while Junrei is just minding or biding his time by placing traps at windows. Which is fair because he knows one of them's going for an exit gate and one of them's going to go for the save eventually. Which happens right there and he makes his way back to it. A kind of counterclockwise movement happening right here. Junrei trapped the door to the shack, so Tavion couldn't use it, and Tavion gets hit right there. But he's heading to the exit gate that Ejecanator was working on, but he doesn't have it open, so he's gonna go down here. Tavion is with Ejecanator opening the exit gate, and Ejecanator crossed the exit gate line, so he has to leave while Tavion's on the ground, and Reborn is injured, and she runs into that trap set early game on that pallet, but Junrei is cross map and picks up Tavion, so Reborn will have plenty of time to attempt to struggle out of here. Come on. So like 5 now. 6. Come on. 7 attempts. Alright, you know, that's fair. The vanilla trap 7 times feels good. Junrei knows that she's around though, spots her out, sees the scratch marks, knows who she is. This is really unfortunate. If she didn't step on, she'd be getting out, and Junrei doesn't want to kill her. I know he doesn't, but he's going to have to. And Tavion voicing the, you know, effortless mouse wiggle on the hook, dance moves. So Reborn is dead on hook with saying, "Got her on, let's go," as Reborn gets hooked. The only surviving guy is Ejecanator, who doesn't really need this, which is funny in my book, and Junrei proving that a Trapper is 100% viable here. I don't know about like maxing his points or anything like that, but like he got a lot of traps, a lot of chases, like was in it. So Tavion on top there, even though he died with 18,658. Ejecanator second with 18,322. Reborn third with 17,842. And Rixa last with 10,426. Junrei putting up a pretty impressive score of a Trapper with 27,880. He is playing Killer now as a sub, and he is playing Billy. He is a Billy main. I'm pretty sure I got that correct. And immediately finds Tavion by just chainsawing pretty much cross map. So, and chainsaws Tavion down, and in the meantime spots someone else. He spots Pudding running around the garbage truck. And
the chainsaw hit.
Yeah, it was rough for Tavion. He could have dodged that, but he either had to go for that pallet or go that way, and he went that way. He could have double backed and probably got it in the way with it. But Tavion goes on hook as Reborn and Rixa start on this gen, but Rixa blows a skill check.
As a friend of mine would say, unlucky.
Shut up, Junrei. So Tavion gets unhooked by Dr. Pudding, and they're all wearing the same outfit, except for Rixa, so that's Reborn. So Reborn is going to go down with a chainsaw. It was Reborn. She does go down, as Tavion is not healed, and Pudding just dips out of that whole situation. Griff spotting out Dr. Pudding here, who was running around the jungle gym of the nearby the hook and the trash compactor, and getting hit with Griff's M1 as Billy. And so the same thing for Dr. Pudding here. You know, he's EU, so he has latency when it comes to Griff being a killer who's from NA. And Reborn gets unhooked, getting double healed, and Griff is still on chase with Dr. Pudding, who is looping around with pallets. And does the fake chainsaw to get Dr. Pudding down. And Dr. Pudding will go into the basement. There's nothing really to say about Billy on this map. I mean, just kind of chainsawing around is hard because there's always some crap in your way. But like, in terms of like pallets, you can just break them and fake them out pretty easily, like what Griff does.
To an extent, it's RNG related. However, as a Billy with the capability of instantly drop pallets, you do have an actual advantage on this map.
Yeah. So he heads into the basement where he spots out Tavion and sees scratch marks of a survivor and finds not only Reborn but Pudding also in the basement. So it was a basement party, so Reborn will be dropped and Tavion will be hooked as he is trying to crawl out. So he then her will be hooked. Tavion will be already in struggle and Reborn will be in struggle. And only one gem has been done. And I just got what Rixa is having audio issues with his game. It seems to be bugging out that it's like switching audio inputs on his end, so he probably will be affected by, you know, anything sound related, like where the heartbeat is, where he is. Don't know if you ever played this game without sound. It's honestly like the roughest thing. It's rougher than toast.
I haven't tried it yet, but I could. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, just invert the keyboard and mouse and...
Also flip my screen by 180 degrees.
Yeah, just flip it upside down. Mine has the capability of doing that. I don't know why, but you can.
Yeah, there's a key command.
Everyone sort of got healed up in the basement partially, but Griff made his way back, so... and he actually gets killer stunned by either... Who was that? That was Tavion. Gets killer stunned by him. And Tavion was actually on the same side as him, and he just hopped the same pallet again, while Reborn was hiding in the basement the whole time, searching his chest for hopefully a med kit. Griff finds Dr. Pudding and does the reversal on him, getting an M1 off at the pallet. So with 3 injured, 2 on death hook, and only 1 gen done, survivors ain't getting out of here. And
No.
Reborn just hiding away in the locker in the basement. Griff makes his way down to a generator where he spots a Rixa who is just kind of running around the same gen area. I think Griff actually just lost him. He has no idea where he went. Except for he does. He chainsaws exactly to his position, and Rixa is now running for his life away from Griff. 2 pallets. And a good juke by Rixa there. He moves to the side of him as Griff respects the pallet, but Rixa throws it down anyway. Rixa narrowly like getting missed by that chainsaw as he throws the pallet down. And Griff is continuously trying for this chainsaw and he gets it on Rixa. And this is going to be Rixa's first hook. but it's gonna also be in the basement. Survivors like going down around the basement. And everyone is getting smart with this though, and they understand that that they need to get gens done, and everyone needs to get out, and pretty much now.
Yeah, at least the hatch is secured, so there is a slight chance that at least one of them will survive.
Yeah, a possibility, but knowing how
likelihood.
No, yeah. I mean, Griff will slug it out and slug someone until he finds the other person. So.
GG, good luck, have fun.
Following Bloodstain is someone who is Rixa, again, or just around the pallet area. Griff with the fake chainsaw, it baits out the pallet drop by Rixa, but still not getting killer stun by it. And Griff now switching targets, I think, to back to Tavion. And Shack Pallet hasn't been used except for just now by Tavion and gets a successful killer stun on Griff, who again breaks off to go back to another generator. And he has a very good 3-gen right now. He has gens like within, I'd say, 20 yards of each other.
That's nasty.
That RNG is looking bad, and until they do one of them, they should not pop another generator. But he's not going to stop patrolling this, and all the pallets in that immediate area are like gone. So if someone goes down who is on death hook, it's going to be rough.
Indeed.
And Reborn is getting chased right now, and she's one of the people on death hook. And she waits at the pallet for a second while Griff chainsaws, and he attempts an M1, and just Reborn gets the pallet stun on him. Now, Griff switches targets to Dr. Pudding, who's just running around, and Griff just continuously buffering his chainsaw and attempts one and misses just because of the angles and stuff, and Pudding just continuously running him around effortlessly without pallets, finds a pallet at a jungle gym, and Griff will back up into the window, and now Pudding might go down here, and he does. And I'm pretty sure he is dead on hook. It's either him or Tavion. He's the second guy besides Reborn. No, it's Pudding, so he's on struggle now. And so everyone is dead on hook, I'm pretty sure. Except for maybe Rixa. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But everyone's still being super cautious moving up and just really not wanting to tempt fate. Not being seen by Griff because they will die.
Yeah.
I don't think any progress on any of the 3 gens have been made since this whole hooking has begun. Tavion stopping the progression of 1 gen, but just keeps moving up for the unhook as Griff makes his way back to that said hook.
Yeah. The other 3 survivors also have given away an opportunity to bring one of the 3 generators up to like what, 80% during the chase.
Yeah. And so then that Griff backed up and found Reborn, and Reborn threw the pallet in his face. And while this is all going on, Pudding is in a locker right next to all of this. He's just viewing this from a locker, and Reborn narrowly missing a chainsaw. She's doing her work of juking, but does a weird 180 back into his arms, and she's getting picked up for her death hook. So she's dead, and 2 survivors get spotted out here. One of them being Tavion and the other being Rixa, as Pudding works on a generator, but I don't think that's part of the 3 gen either. And Tavion, so since Tavion's down and Rixa is getting chased and Pudding gets spotted by Griff, so Griff knows where everyone is right now currently. As Pudding attempts to pallet loop him around, and Pudding trying to call his bluff on him, does, but misses the killer stun. And Pudding running into a rock, messes up and gets chainsawed right there and then. And he will get slugged also, as Griff will try to look for Rixa.
Other version of wrecked, rocked.
But runs in. Stop talking. Jesus Christ. I'm so sick of your puns. Tavion missed facing first up there, as Pudding got picked up by Rixa, and Rixa will finish the gen that Pudding has been working on. The only thing with that is they're both in the same area, but Griff doesn't go to that gen. He's just sticking around the 3 gen, but he's making his way to where they are, and they're behind the crane, and you will see them or hear him here in a second. And he does. He sees both of them. Gonna get a chainsaw off on Pudding here as he spots Rixa, and this is pretty much a GG. As Rixa takes 2 hooks from Griff, both in his face. So Griff actually doesn't, right now, does not have any sort of hooks to take him to, but Griff taking the opportunity to just rack up the 100 points, and Rixa notices that, so he just gets the up on Pudding. Not a play at all, like, not a bad play at all. And Pudding gets chased again, who just gets not gonna get M1 tier just because of the survivor found. Griff just racking up the 100 points for a 32k here. Rixa desperately just trying to find a gen that has been slightly worked on, and finds one that has slightly been worked on, but also runs into Pudding. Rixa successfully picked from Griff, and Griff actually might have just lost both of them. Sees scratch marks or something. He hears Dr. Pudding and Rixa working on that gen almost simultaneously. And he finds Rixa, but Dr. Pudding vaulted a window too fast. And I believe that was latency there, because Pudding knew that he was going to do that and probably was spamming space there. And Griff gets the M1 for the killer stun.
Aw, that feels bad.
Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that was latency. But Griff doing a fantastic job and just making everything look bleak, and a 32 is almost guaranteed. This Pudding will get up by Rixa here. Griff coming immediately back to find one of them. He sees Rixa, and then it's time to go for Rixa. But actually, he diverted to go to Pudding and stop finding Pudding. Now he sees Rixa again, so he's gonna chase to him as Rixa makes his way across map to give Pudding, I think, Pudding time to work on the gen, and he does. Rixa going down to the pallet that he obviously pressed space at because the animation was there, but the pallet just wasn't thrown.
A little too late.
And Griff actually picking up Rixa and taking him to his death or his struggle hook. His struggle hook, okay. So with him on hook, Pudding either has to just let him die, which will do 2 things. Actually deny Griff his 32k, and could potentially get Hatch, but he's not going to do that. He's going to go for save right now.
He looks too altruistic right now to be doing something like that.
Yeah. I mean, this could matter for both of them anyway, so... For either of them, it doesn't matter for Griff, doesn't matter for Pudding. But Griff finds Rixa by a rock and just points over a truck, and Griff looks over and looks back and then wants him. And chainsaw revs. as Griff picks up Rixa for his death hook and Pudding scouring the lands for something, and he's in the sense of he finds Hatch. He actually finds it. And
oh boy,
will Griff find him? No, Griff is on the other side of the map, and Rixa's already dead. The Hatch is going to be his. I'm glad we get to see it because, you know, that bug. I'm glad. So with that, Dr. Pudding at the top of the leaderboard, 24,051. Rixa second with 15,060. Reborn third with 14,341, and Tavion fourth with 13,755, and Griff with 31,600. Just 400 points, like one, literally the sacrifice away. It's Freddy. It seems like a statement will be made here. Whether or not the Costco Freddy or the Red Freddy is the better Freddy. And one thing's for certain, none of these survivors are ready for Freddy. As Red spots out Rixa immediately, and also Tavion, but Tavion isn't, for some reason, oh, he did get put to sleep. I was just like, what? Why isn't he? So Rixa, being in the dream state, with Tavion and now someone else that's Reborn or Pudding? Pudding. It's Pudding who was put into the dream world. And Red giving chase to Pudding, and Pudding just throwing a pallet in anticipation of Red. Probably without latency. And Reborn is waking up her fellow teammates, but just getting put right back to sleep.
1, 2, Freddy's gonna tunnel you.
Freddy got fingered, dude.
Anyways, 2 survivors in G right now.
Yeah, 3. Count them, 3. 1, 2, 3. And Tavion being the first to be hit here in the dream state, but Red diverts off to, because as she hears someone working on a gem, and that would be Reborn and Rixa. What is that? What is that? Hold on. No, go back on him. There was like a cloud bubble. It was almost like a rocket from like Mario or something.
Oh, I saw it.
What was? It's like a speech bubble. Red. Red looking around, trying to find some survivors. Goes back to find Rixa and Reborn. Gets a hit on Reborn, and Red is almost already up half of her devious. So, and no gens popped yet.
That's a good stuff for her.
Yeah, and Red also getting Rixa too, hitting him for additional points. Rixa actually going down, so the first down is to Rixa while Reborn is still injured and in dream state. Okay, hold on, I have to back out and go I cannot stand up. La 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 la. Please make it go away.
It's a beautiful song. I usually fall asleep to it. Peppa.
That's a good pun. Thank you. Red going back to the hook to find both Rixa and Dr. Pudding there. Whoa! The swing on Tavion didn't go through because the auto aim took over and defaulted to Rixa. And Red mind gaming Tavion there a little bit because Tavion got anxious and jumped the window twice right back into Red's arms, and he will be on hook for the first time. As Rixa finds help, gets snapped out of it, and he's already been healed, but Reborn is the only person to not be healed yet as she goes into a locker. Rixa moves up for this save on Tavion, who attempted twice to get off the hook to no avail. So Rixa and Dr. Pudding are there to heal him up fully. And Red finding Reborn out in the basement. I wonder how that happened, but Reborn goes down because she never got healed. And so she'll be on struggle actually, if she's been hooked. No, I lost track.
Rip.
No, first time on hook. And someone just got who was that? That was Tavion, who got a killer stun on Red by just waiting behind the pallet. And Dr. Pudding moves up for the save. So, interesting enough, they find a green flashlight, but pretty useless against Freddy, because one, you can't see him, and you'd have to be in the dream state to actually... I mean, I think you can still blind even if you can't see him, but obviously, that being said...
Oh yeah, you still can blind him, but as you already said, it's tough.
Yeah. Have Red having a party, putting everyone to sleep, put Reborn to sleep again, Tavion and Rixa, so the deviousness points just keep pouring out, and pallets just keep getting dropped for practically no reason, just more out of them being scared. With that though, Tavion finding, what was that? It was Rixa or Reborn. It was Reborn and Rixa. Getting snapped out of it. Dr. Pudding going down by a birch tree. He'll be putting on hook. Someone's saboing again. Who has a toolbox? Of course it's Reborn. Reborn with the toolbox for the sabo.
Of course. After a game against the Trapper, you did the toolbox.
She didn't have a toolbox for your traps. It's very sad.
I pressed F already.
Red finding Rixa, who's just defiantly working on the gem with no apparent pallet. He transitioned just in time to get over that pallet. And Red having to break it, it just breaks off of him completely. As Pudding is still on the hook. I'm not sure if people are around, but Rick's switching chest by side the shack while Tavion hasn't moved. And I'm pretty sure, Reborn is going to have to quickly move before Pudding could potentially go into the second stage. So they traded items. Reborn now getting the green flashlight and Pudding getting the brown toolbox.
Interesting. Trying to put the blame on Pudding.
I mean, to me, it seems like that was a bad trade, but you know, a green for a brown, some people like that. I don't know.
Kind of preference.
Rixa tries to hide behind the pallet and bait Red into it, but he just throws it down and Red breaks it and cuts Rixa off and gets a hit on him as he vaults the window to pallets by the shack. As Tavion, Reborn, and Dr. Pudding, or no, just Dr. Pudding and Tavion finish the generator by a shack. Chase still being given out to Rixa here, as he is consistently getting chased here and running Red around a pallet, and she swings on him and just drops the pallet on their face. And everyone's just moving on to more generators. Like now, 3 of them putting Reborn and Tavion are on a gen by the trash compactor, while Red is still chasing Rixa to attempt to get him down. She just finally breaks off, realizing it's not worth it and that she needs to prioritize everyone else. As the gen by there just gets popped. Doesn't even really look in that direction. It's really hard to tell if like she's around them because you're just constantly hearing the goddamn lullaby and you just God, I hate it so much.
It's especially hard because it doesn't give away the location of the killer like it does with the Huntress's lullaby.
Yeah.
As soon as he gets close, you have the full volume running, and you just have to guess where he is.
Yeah, you just kind of see like the shrubs part, and you're like, oh, there he is. And
oh, I see Freddy. Where's my window?
Exactly. Red getting killer stun there. She attempted to bait out the pallet drop and like mind game them to swing through it, but it doesn't matter as they get down, or Tavion goes down anyway, and Regan there with the attempted flashlight save, but doesn't get it, and everyone buzzing around the hook. Rixa's there, putting getting found out and getting put to sleep. Reborn just constantly hugging the wall and looking around as Pudding gets hit. Red makes your way back to the hook to put everyone back to sleep. I mean, that's all she can do right now. As Tavion gets put back, Rixa's right there to take the aggression. And he gets hit, and he's in dream state. So three injured survivors all in dream state, and runs back to find Pudding over here somewhere. Doesn't know where he went exactly. By the buses.
Red also taking quite some time to put survivors into dream state.
Yeah. I mean, the only Rixa getting snapped out of it by Reborn healed up fully. But Tavion got out of it too by working with Gen. But as Dr. Pudding gets on his health, the second. Whoops, dropped my phone.
I thought your head dropped on your desk.
That too. Meg looking like she's having a good time there as Rixa gets put to sleep by Bread, and chase on him happens again without any music this time. Just like that. So Red doing fine in all categories except for sacrifice. Her deviousness is around max. Her brutality was the same. And her hunter points the same. So it's just the hooks. Which you get another hook on Rixa here. For his second. Almost full sacrifice. Just needs a couple more. So Pudding and Rixa are on Death Hook. Reborn getting put to sleep, and same with Tavion. Red finding out Reborn at the jungle gym, and we'll get a hit here in a second. As Reborn attempts a 360, 180. And she looked like she was running in for the unhook, but drops the pallet instead. Instead, there's another. Is that Pudding? Yeah, Pudding is there for the unhook, but gets hit for his efforts. And Red does max out deviousness there. And they pop the last generator.
Thing to do right now, considering that all 4 survivors are still alive, and the dream state in mind, they really need all 4 to get an exit gate open.
Yeah. I mean, they will have to go in obviously for a rescue because Reborn will go down, and she just did. And she'll be on struggle, I think, or it might be her first time. I'm not sure. I cannot recall about it. That as Tavion opens an exit gate. And Pudding gets healed up by Rixa. So yeah, Reborn on her struggle. The only one who has not been either hooked or is not on death hook is Tavion, I'm pretty sure. And Red just sort of parks it on that hill, just observing where people are. She's observing, looking around. Doesn't see anyone immediately. Finds out Pudding though, who's going in for the hook rescue, but Red just puts him to sleep and then doubles back to find anyone else who's going for the unhook, which Tavion is just fully going for right now. And Red just immediately making her way back there to find these guys, but cannot. Gets stuck on a couple of rocks here and sees the scratch marks, but can't. To life of her figure it out. Sees Pudding off in the distance, but doesn't decide to chase him.
Shadowborn, where are you when I need you?
You're highly sensitive to light. Maybe put Shadowborn on in like Freddy's Dream mode, it was like brighter.
I haven't tried it yet, so I cannot confirm.
Red finding both Reborn and Tavion at the exit gate and pushes them out. So Red has max deviousness, max hunter, and I would say max brutality as she beelines it to cut off Pudding at the exit gate, but he's gone as he teabags at the exit gate and motions for Red to come there. And that last hit, though, actually made Red get full brutality. Do you mind, Junrei? You're a rapper.
I'm sorry. I'm just considerate of keeping my working place clean.
Too kind.
I know that's pretty ironic since I work in a workshop. There's oil everywhere.
Weird. Rick's finding the exit hatch and just jumps through, and that ends the game. So, Tavion on top that game with 27,000, the highest game out of all the games so far. Tavion 27,605. Second, Dr. Pudding with 22,712. Reborn third with 22,602. Rixa last with 20,607. Red with a 29,600 score.
Moving on with the questions, your opinion on sharks?
My opinion, dude, they're not harming anyone. But we gotta go before I get yelled at. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.